The nurse discovered during her ward rounds that the patient had died, but she did not inform the family. Instead, she quietly left the room as if nothing had happened. She even wiped off the fingerprints on the doorknob. She knew it was a trap set by her brother. The brother's plan was to frame the woman so that his adopted sister could go unpunished. In her previous life, she fell into a trap without realizing it. Her brother and adopted sister took her to court. The fingerprints on the doorknob served as irrefutable evidence. The judge sentenced her to death on the spot. As she was leaving the court, she was stabbed to death by the deceased's family. Her final moments were filled with pain and remorse, but fate gave her another chance. She awoke on the very day the patient had died. Still shaken, she saw her brother and his scheming sister walk in. They told her sister was unwell and asked her to take over. Her adopted sister even handed her a bottle of glucose for him to inject into the patient. Remembering her previous tragic end, she refused to be deceived again. She picked up the bottle and threw it to the ground in front of them. Her brother was stunned. When he angrily demanded an explanation, she calmly said her hand slipped. She then firmly refused to take over. The adopted sister tried to play the emotional card. But how could a woman be fooled again if she lived her life again? Then the woman turned and left without looking back. She quietly went to the patient's room. She remembered that the autopsy in her previous life had shown the patient died at 8 o'clock. That was why her adopted sister had been so anxious to take over. Sure enough, she saw the patient was already dead. She even found an empty penicillin bottle in the trash can. Now she understood why her foster sister had given her the glucose. She was determined to make them pay. So the woman didn't say anything. She carefully wiped off her fingerprints. The next day, the patient's family discovered that the patient was no longer breathing. They wept bitterly. The father suddenly noticed an empty penicillin bottle in the trash can. He flew into a rage, demanding the nurse from last night come forward. The other nurses quickly pointed at her adopted sister. The patient's family slapped her. Others ripped at her clothes, demanding she pay for what had happened to their son. The nurse stood silently, watching all this unfold. However, her adopted sister tried to shift the blame onto her. She claimed she wasn't feeling well and had asked the woman to administer the injection instead. The result was exactly as the woman expected, but she remained calm. The woman had already prepared a plan to deal with the false accusations made by her adopted sister.